on 23 July 2025, the lake exhibits fecal coliform levels of 4,900 mpn per 100 liter arsenic levels, which is high alkalinity ranging from pH of 8.702, all exceeding the DENR standards for safe water use. Prolonged exposure to such conditions greatly increases the likelihood for our divers contracting respiratory, gastrointestinal, and skin-related illnesses. Compounding this risk is the presence of the venomous aquatic life, particularly the duhol matapang or the Taal sea snake, whose venom possesses a severe threat to human life. Aside from the medical training provided to PCG personnel by CGD-STL Medical Station and Batangas Medical Center Toxicology Unit, it is stressed that no antivenom for this species is currently available in the Philippines, leaving our divers acutely vulnerable in the event of a bite. From a logistical standpoint, the PCG faces constraints in the availability of advanced equipments, such as the remotely operated vehicle, high-resolution sonar system, and specialized underwater forensic tools. Despite these challenges, the importance of PCG's participation remains paramount. From our humanitarian standpoint, the organization's involvement provides a means of closure for the grieving families. From a law enforcement perspective, its technical capabilities enhance the DOJ's ability and the PNP to gather admissible evidence and pursue justice. On a national scale, the resolution of this case will help restore public trust in the rule of law and strengthen confidence in state institutions. The Philippine Coast Guard's unique technical expertise in diving and maritime operations is unmatched by any other government agency right now, making its role indispensable in the investigation. In conclusion, the Philippine Coast Guard is faithful in adherence to RA 9993, the formal request of the Secretary of Justice, and the directive of the Commandant reiterates its unwavering commitment to the ongoing search and investigation of the missing sabongeros. At present, sir, we are now on our 50th day of sustained underwater operations. Through the deployment of our technical diving teams, maritime safety experts, the PCG stands prepared to contribute meaningfully to the pursuit of justice and truth. This operation underscores our organization's role as the nation's reliable guardian of maritime safety and security, as well as a trusted partner in interagency cooperation. The PCG remains steadfast in its duty to serve the Filipino people, support the rule of law, and uphold the values of justice, compassion, and accountability. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Thank you, Comsec.
And finally, from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, Attorney Alia Kumago.
Good morning. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and honorable members of this committee. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation respectfully affirms that all forms of e-sabong have already been banned nationwide. In May 2022, former President Rodrigo Duterte ordered the immediate termination of e-sabong operations, a directive which PAGCOR fully implemented by revoking licenses and suspending all related activities. This ban was later sustained under Executive Order Number 9 issued by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in December 2022. PAGCOR no longer licenses nor regulates e-sabong. Our current role is limited to assisting enforcement agencies such as the PNP, NBI, CICC, and MTC in identifying and blocking illegal platforms that persist despite the prohibition. We are deeply mindful of the reports on the missing sabongeros. While such criminal acts fall outside PAGCOR's regulatory authority, PAGCOR stands committed to supporting ongoing investigation and to ensuring that no gambling activity under government authority undermines public safety, human rights, and the welfare of our people. Thank you.
All right. If you may please submit your statement to this committee. Okay. Now we'll continue on with the questions of our colleagues here. We'd like to start with Congressman Suntay, and afterwards we would like our DOJ to answer the question of Congressman Pimentel. Very good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. To continue my line of questioning earlier, how was coordination made between the ICT, PAGCOR, and the PNP with regards to the proliferation of the online sabong? Kagaya ng sinabi kanina ng DICT, I understand na of course mahirap i-trace. Kailangan meron tayong mga agents which are registered online who place also para malaman natin if the site is operational or not. But once malaman natin na operational yung site, siyempre yung agent nyo na pumasok sa site, di naman nagpapakilala yan eh. They will always be on that particular site. So kung magpalit man yan ng ibang site, dapat kasama pa rin yung pinasok nyong ahente. Pwede na lang kung hindi siya pumupusta, nanonood lang siya. So tatanggalin siya. I would assume na ang mga nililipat nila would be betters ng site nila at hindi yung mga nanonood lang. So, paano ba yung sistema nyo?
Your Honor and the Honorable Chair, tama po kayo na dapat po talaga ay malakas po kayong pumusta in order na maisali po kayo doon sa bagong grupo. However, as to the CICC po, wala po tayong confidential fund. So, yung betting po namin sa mga online sabong platforms na makikita po namin are very minimal. So, kung meron pong changes, magre-register pa po yung mga tao natin.
So, hindi kayo nakakasunod sa paglipat?
Hindi ho eh. Hindi na po tayo malakas magtaya po.
Okay. Now, assuming meron kayong mga sites na okay, na verify na which is operating, how do you what do you do next? Okay, sinasaran nyo lang yung site or do you coordinate with PNP so that arrests could be made with regards to yung operator?
Yes, Your Honor. There is a very active collaboration between us and the law enforcement. However, yun nga po yung sinabi rin po ng ating mga partners from the PNP. There is this anonymity over the web po eh, sa online. So, hindi naman po natin na-identify yung mga operators po talaga nito. And most of those websites po are actually hosted outside of the Philippines. In fact po, nagdududa nga ho kami na yung mga sabong na yan po are not actually live or are performed in the Philippines po.
Okay, so then the best course of action would be yung ginawa, yung delinking these sites from any e-wallet so that the bettors will not be able to pay online.
That's correct po, Your Honor, to the Honorable Chair.
So with regards to yung delinking na PAGCOR, ano na yung nangyari in DICT? Have we po coordinated with the e-wallet providers like PayMaya, GCash, and everyone else?
Most of these po naman are actually delinked. Wala na ho tayong mga payment platforms na talagang nag-involve sa isabong po. The problem lang po is that these transactions of sabongeros, online sabongeros, are actually po individuals. Yung pagbibet po nila are on individual accounts sa mga payment platforms po natin. Yung pagbayad din po sa kanila, if meron, kasi marami rin po dito, scam lang ho eh. So, these are individual accounts po. Like, sabihin na po natin, kung sa GCash man po yan, that is peer-to-peer na po na transaction at hindi naman po pinapayagan ni GCash na meron talagang isabong platform po doon sa kanilang payment platform po.
Yeah. Oh, but for these online sites to be able to earn money, kailangan nyo nagbabayad. Like what you said, it's peer-to-peer, individual to individual. I can only have so much, I can only be allowed so much payments na ibibigay ko. So kung merong merong 1,000 better dyan, eh, kung peer-to-peer, kaya sinasabi mo, kailangan kung nanalo sila, pabayaran ko yung 1,000 na yon. Is that allowed by the e-wallet platform?
Actually po, fortunately, yung itong mga isabong websites po, hindi na ganun karami din po ang kanilang mga clientele. Ilan-ilan na rin lang talaga na mga sabongero ang nag-engage po doon because napansin na rin ng mga nag-engage po sa isabong na marami po sa mga websites na ito are actually scams and sometimes po yung mga games po doon, yung mga sabong po doon are actually replaced. Kaya yung trust po ng betting public on isabong po ngayon is actually lower than previously po.
So, when you say na konti na lang yung bettors at bumababa yung betting, how do we verify this? How did we get that data na konti na lang ang pumupusta?
Yun po, kasi nakikita naman ho natin pag nakapasok na po tayo sa group, kung ilan ng mga manlalaro po dyan, so minsan po less than 100. Minsan just over 100.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Tai. Are there other questions from my colleagues or our resource persons here? We would gladly take Congresswoman Laila De Lima. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. First, let me express my appreciation to this committee by conducting this on the case of the missing sabongeros. As we all know, the disappearance of at least 34 sabongeros between the period April 2021 and January 2022 has become one of the most high-profile unresolved cases in our country, linked primarily to isabong or online cockfighting operations and arenas in Luzon. This case actually revealed possible collusion between private operators and law enforcers, thereby exposing the darker side of gambling in our country. Ang tanong ko po, these are actually just factual, addressed to the DOJ, ASEC, Cruz, and Prosecutor Reyes. How many cases exactly are there filed with respect to this case of missing sabongeros?
What I have mentioned a while ago, ma'am, there are 7 cases.
And at what level? Is it at preliminary investigation level or already with the case?
According to the National Prosecution Service, they have just finished the evaluation of these cases, and the docket number is about to be signed, and there has been a certification issued by the National Prosecution Service that these cases is sufficient for filing and for the conduct of the preliminary investigation.
So there has been no preliminary investigation proper yet?
Yes, ma'am. It's about to begin.
So it's just about, we're talking here about the evaluation stage.
Yes.
By the National Prosecution Service before
yes,
it launches a formal preliminary investigation stage.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many exactly are the missing sabongeros?
Based on record by the police, there are 34 missing sabongeros that were declared and reportedly missing in 8 incidents in 2021 and in 2022.
34 sabongeros, 8 incidents.
Yes.
And this could be just the minimum number.
Yes.
So you have reason to believe that there could be more of the sabongeros missing.
Yes, Mr. Chair. According to our witness, there are more than that of the 34 missing sabongeros. And because 34 is just the official record of the police, of the PNP.
Official record of the PNP.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can only rely on the official records of the law enforcers like the PNP.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many exactly do have a